Hello everyone. So friend, in this lecture we'll see how we can code a program to find the nth Fibonacci number using dynamic programming. And in this lecture we'll use the bottom-up approach. So friends, in our previous lecture we saw the algorithm of how to find the nth Fibonacci number using the bottom-up approach. We saw its animation, and here in Eclipse we'll actually code the algorithm, and using this main method we'll see it's working. So here we'll create one method as public, which will return us back the nth Fibonacci number. So int will give the method name as fib, which will take the value of n for which we want to find the Fibonacci number. So friends, for the positive values of n, we need to return the nth Fibonacci number from this method. And as we are discussing the bottom-up approach using dynamic programming, we know that this approach is nothing but a tabulation approach, where we create the table and store the results of the sub-problems. And when those sub-problems comes again into picture, instead of recalculating them, we simply reuse the values stored in the table. So here we'll create an array. We'll give it a name as table, and the size of the array would be n plus 1, because as array is indexed from 0 and we are using this table to store the individual Fibonacci number. So in order to get the nth Fibonacci number, we need to create a table which can store n plus 1 items, so that it will start from 0 to n, and at the nth index we will have our nth Fibonacci number. Also friends, what we discussed in our previous lectures, that the first two numbers of the Fibonacci series are nothing but 0 and 1. So table at the 0th index will have value as 0, and table at the first index will have value as 1. And also friends, we discussed that in Fibonacci series, if you want to know the current number, you just need to do the sum of its two previous numbers. So here we have these first two numbers. If we do sum of these two numbers, we'll get the second number. And similarly, using this approach, we can come to know that what is the nth number. So we are simply storing the Fibonacci numbers in this table array. So we have used the 0th index and 1st index. So now we'll start from the second index. We are starting from the second index. And as here you can see, the table has size of n plus 1. So we'll provide a boolean condition here, that if I is less than equal to n, just iterate this for loop. We'll do I plus plus. So friends, here you can see the advantage of creating a table array. What we can do is simply let's say if we want to calculate the ith Fibonacci number, we simply do the sum of its two previous numbers. And whatever the values computed from this equation, we simply store it into the table at ith index. So thus this table helps us in computing the nth Fibonacci number from the bottom, which is from the 0th index to the nth index. So we have this first two values as index 0 and 1. The second value is computed by adding this value and this value, which is I minus 1 and I minus 2, and storing it into the second index. And similarly the third index will be calculated by adding the value at second index and the first index. So this loop keeps on going ahead and ahead, taking previous two values, doing their sum and storing it into the current ith position. And finally, when this loop terminates, the final value will be stored in the table at the nth index, which we also saw in our previous lecture using the animation. So we'll simply return that value. So here first we'll create the object of Fibonacci number class. We'll provide a sysout to print the nth Fibonacci number. Let's say we want to print the 6th Fibonacci number. We simply call the method fib and we'll pass the value as 6. And now we'll simply run the program. So here you can see the 6th Fibonacci number is 8. So which is something like this. That series starts from 0, 1 and then the rest of the values are calculated by using the sum of its two previous numbers. So 0 plus 1 gives 1, 1 plus 1 gives 2, 2 plus 1 gives 3, 3 plus 2 gives 5 and 3 plus 5 gives 8. So the 6th Fibonacci number which comes out is 8. So friends, this was a demonstration of code to find the nth Fibonacci number using dynamic programming with a tabulation method, which is nothing but bottom-up approach. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.